about Alcoholics Anonymous and an additional program called Al-Anon. And I have family who are very close and are alcoholics, and they go to AA, and they are religious. And they've been going for a while, but it's not until like recently that things have escalated and I've become involved more and more and found out more. And anyway, I started going to both these programs just to see what it's like. And I couldn't be more shocked as far as being told, one, that they were church affiliated, but there wasn't supposed to be religion. And then getting in there and hearing nothing but God, 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 God. And I mean, just flat out God. It wasn't like entity or being. It was flat out God. And also being like, oh, you guys need to donate money. I guess that's you have to donate. So, additionally, being there, it was so controlled as far as like throwing God down your throat and hearing, you have to accept God to enter into this program. You have to, or else you can never be saved. Or helped or whatever. Yeah. And all the rhetoric that was so contradictory, saying, we'll hope one day something help us, but until then we have to accept this. It's like, wow, God's not really that powerful then, but didn't say that. And it was so thick.
So I guess my question is, are you going to the AA meetings because you're an alcoholic, or were you just going to be supportive?
No.
Okay, so just to understand.
Right. There's AA, and I went to support someone.
Okay.
So it was clear that I wasn't the alcoholic. I was just supporting somebody.
Okay.
But there's also an additional program called Al-Anon, and it is for victims of alcoholics, drug users,
right,
bad situations. And it couldn't have been more controlled or as thick as the AA as far as throwing God down your throat.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, AA is explicitly religious. I mean, that's in their 12 steps. You basically have to acknowledge that you're powerless over your addiction, and you have to appeal to this higher power.
Right.
My real problem with AA is not that, because I think if people are religious and they want to use a religious program, I don't think the religion adds anything to it. But, I guess that's their choice. My problem with AA is that it doesn't work.
Right.
I mean,
it's not helping one of those people.
Well, no, I mean, it literally, they don't release numbers because, they claim confidentiality and everything, but for people that have done some examination of their, treatment numbers, it's actually worse than if people don't go to any treatment at all.
Well, it is. And what is even worse to me is talking to some of those people is they will sit there and say, oh, this person has 5 years being sober. But one of my family members was their buddy or whatever, and they were both drunk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how can you have 5 years, but here you are plastered in front of me? I mean, you're not sipping it, you were plastered. And I'm like, wait, what? How's this 5 years? No, it's not. No.
Well, I mean,
I reported it, but it kind of went under the bus.
Well, the thing is, it sounds like that particular AA chapter isn't being run with the strict AA guidelines. But even if people are running this, strictly according to these Alcoholics Anonymous guidelines, it really doesn't work. If you find somebody that's been sober for 5 years, they did all the heavy lifting to stay sober for 5 years. The AA program didn't help them.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people like to kind of, they fall back on the whole, I have this support group and everything, and there's a lot to be said for that. But as far as the whole 12-step program, there's not anything behind that documents that's effective. Basically, people quit drinking or quit using drugs when they are ready to take that step, and they take responsibility for it, and they do the work, and they get the proper treatment, basically.
So I guess my question is, are you simply reporting on this because this was an experience that you had and you wanted to sort of let people know, or is there a question in here as well?
Well, there is, it's kind of the experience I've had, but also, I don't know, my sister, she's really, really intelligent, smart, and she actually does give me better resources any day of the week as far as helping a person, in any kind of way, especially with an alcoholic family and doing these things. But, it's like the alcoholics don't really want to listen to that as much as we've done multiple interventions. And it's like there is better information. So why can't the church accept it or take it? It's not even religious anti-based. It's like, how to better diet yourself and better live yourself. So, I don't know. It's like there is a little bit more information than they let on, but I literally went to these meetings and they flat out said, there's no more information. There's no help. There's nothing else.
Well,
They literally hit the brake pedal so fast, it was like, what?
What if you brought the information in?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought of doing that. It's just, I'm trying to be careful about, talking about it, because it's like no matter what you do, you go there and it's like God down the throat. But, yeah.
Does your sister have any are there any options? I guess that's the other thing, is there anything else that she can do or go, or any other groups that are less religiously oriented in the area?
No, around here it's nothing. It's too sick.
Okay.
We have done an intervention and said, no, you need to go to an actual program, but the unwillingness to want to do that is too hard to fight. So, but it's like, I don't know how many times if we talk to these people, nothing, but the church says something and it's, okay, go.
So does your sister listen to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So you could show her that information even if you didn't take it to a meeting.
Yeah. Well, my sister's the one with better information, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She has better information for our alcoholic family, so.
Okay.
But, yeah, so, I don't know. I'm at a loss, and recently an alcoholic in my family went to jail, and that threw my stress level through the roof because I had to help out with that, and...
So why did you have to help out? Why did you have to help out with that?
I had to take care of the dogs, and it's like I feel compelled to lie for this person as they are family, but I'm tired of lying too. So,
But why do you have to lie for them?
They want me to, basically, and I've just come to the point where I'm ready to tell them.
So they're not out of the closet as far as their addiction. Is that correct? That they're not out?
They are, but they want it to look better than it is.
Okay.
So they're asking you to help them minimize the impact of their addiction. Okay. So you can stop that,
Yeah. I would say if it makes you uncomfortable, you can just refer all inquiries to whoever, the person who's got the problem. I would just say, I don't know, you'd have to ask them.
Yeah.
You want to know how they're doing, ask them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have done that, but even then it feels like so heavy burden. So, I don't know, I wanted to talk to somebody who wasn't sitting there and saying, well, you accept God and God will help you.
Yeah. I'm not sure that we're much help here. I know.
What I would tell you is stop covering for them. If you feel like that's a burden, then stop doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that's
said too, but it's.
I know it's probably easier said than done, but basically you're enabling, a little bit of their behavior here.
There's nothing wrong with just telling the person, look, I feel bad because I feel like I'm lying to people for you, and I'm not comfortable lying, but I'm not going to tell them your personal stuff. So if somebody asks me, I'm just going to tell them they need to ask you if they want to know how you're doing. then I got nothing.
Yeah, and that's what I'm coming to that, but it's so hard to talk to certain people and look at them.
Sometimes we have to have hard conversations.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you've got to have boundaries, and you have to enforce them, or else they're not boundaries, they're preferences.
Yeah.
That's, like you said, easier said than done, so.
It depends. I think the more you do it, the easier it gets to do it. It may feel hard to do, but once you do it and it's done and you just keep referring back to it, like the person comes back and says, can you just lie for me this one more time? And you say, remember that other conversation? Still there.
Yep.
Still in place. And you can just, once you have that hard conversation, you don't ever have to have it again because you can just keep referencing it and reminding them, we've already had this conversation.
Yeah.
And it's empowering.
That's true.
It lets you know that you can have those conversations and that you can put up a boundary and that you can enforce it and stick to it. Don't cave on a boundary, because that's a signal that you cave. So, for what it's worth. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and move on to another call. Thank you for your call today, Hillary.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Best of luck with your situation. All right, bye-bye.
Yep.
Bye.
Thanks.